Disaster. What images come to mind when you think of a disaster? Most of our communities are prepared for emergencies, a house fire or medical emergency, and can respond accordingly. But what happens when there is a natural disaster and the damage exceeds the community capabilities? Well, you may be on your own. With the exception of mandatory emergency escape route signs that few employees even notice, most companies are not prepared. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, known as FEMA, has the motto, "Disasters don't plan ahead, but you can." Stay tuned as we discuss some simple steps you can take at your workplace to become better prepared in case of a disaster.
Welcome to this episode of Workplace Health, Improving Employee Health and Productivity, with President of Workplace Health, Inc., Shanna Dunbar.
There are many types of disasters. Natural, like earthquakes, wildfires, floods, extreme heat or cold. Technology disasters, such as a hazardous material spill, or intentional disasters, such as chemical or biological terrorism. But today, we're going to focus on preparing for a natural disaster. Many companies make an emergency plan that ends with "call 911" in the hopes that the community services will be able to respond and take over care. But what happens when your community services are overwhelmed by a natural disaster? One fire chief told me during a recent thunderstorm that caused flooding in our city, he received 800 calls from the residents in 1 hour. There were only 6 firefighters on duty. There was no way for them to take care of all of these calls. So taking heed of FEMA's warning that every company should have an emergency plan and employees well-versed in how to implement it to avoid injury or even worse. So in the next 2 episodes, we will give you a framework of starting the process of preparing. Yes, it does take a little time, but time well spent so that your employees are taken care of and you mitigate any loss of business operations. Well, where do you begin? A first step is to implement an emergency planning team consisting of managers and staff who brainstorm worst-case scenarios, maybe identify possible hazards that you have, and plan to quickly and safely respond. Have them meet and discuss the following. What are the most common types of disasters to happen in your given community? When do employees evacuate the building and when do they shelter in place? If employees do evacuate, where are the safe meeting places for each department or area of the building? And who's responsible for taking the head count to be sure no one is left inside the building? Who in your company is the logical person to be the incident commander? And what others will report to this incident commander, knowing that one person should only have 5 to 7 people reporting information back? By just doing these few simple steps, you can begin to identify steps your company can take when a disaster strikes, so you can take care of your own, at least in the short term. So whether you have 10 employees, 110 employees, or 1,010 employees, you need to have a disaster plan. Be prepared and be part of the solution. If you'd like to receive a copy of the Workplace Guide to Disaster Preparedness Checklist, please visit our website. Now go make it a great day.
Thank you for watching Workplace Health. For more great information, visit www.workplacehealthinc.com.